Soil testing is the basis for many fertility recommendations. A soil test reports the pH and levels of phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Although nitrogen is the most important component of many fertilizers, the soil test does not provide information about nitrogen because it can be rapidly lost through leaching, carried away by soil water, or removed by plants. When you take soil test samples, keep in mind that a few ounces of soil are being tested to determine lime and fertilizer needs for what may be several thousand pounds of soil in your lawn or garden area. It is absolutely necessary to take care to assure that the soil sample you send to the laboratory accurately represents the area sample. Soil samples can be collected through much of the year, although fall, September through December, or spring, February through April, are the best times. Fall sampling will often result in a faster return of results and recommendations. A soil probe, auger, garden trowel, or a spade and knife are all the tools you need to take the individual cores that will make up the field sample. You will also need a clean, dry bucket, preferably plastic, to collect and mix the sample cores. Soil sample boxes are available at your local county extension office. The most representative sample can be obtained from a large area by sampling in smaller units on the basis of soil type, cropping history, erosion, or past management practices. More accurate results are obtained when problem areas are sampled separately, especially when troubleshooting during a growing season. In such instances, take a sample both from the poor growing area and adjacent areas of good growth. Collect at least 5 to 10 soil cores for each lawn or garden area. Take the soil cores randomly throughout the area to be sampled and placed in the bucket. All soil core samples should start at the soil surface and go down to the recommended depth given for each specific crop. For established lawns, sample the top 2 inches of soil only. For areas to be tilled up for a new lawn, sample the top 4 inches of soil. Sample problem areas and areas within shrubs or flower beds separate from other turf or lawn areas. Sample front and backyard separately only if you want to treat them separately, and do not sample under drip line of trees. For annual flowers, sample the top 6 to 8 inches of soil. For perennial flowers, sample the top 6 to 12 inches of soil. Don't take samples too close to foundations, sidewalks, driveways, or limestone graveled areas unless these are treated as separate problem areas. When testing around trees and shrubs, sample the top 6 to 12 inches of soil. Take samples from under the drip line of established trees, under the tips of the longest branches all the way around the tree, or just outside the root ball or planting area for newly planted trees. When testing around home vegetable gardens, sample the top 6 to 12 inches of soil, preferably in October or November. Do not include compost or manure in the sample. Fertilize in early spring before planting and side dress with more fertilizer later in the season as needed. After all cores from one crop area are collected and placed in the bucket, crush the material and mix the sample thoroughly. Allow the sample to air dry in an open space free from contamination. When dry, crumble the soil and fill a 2-cup sample container with soil. Soil test reports have recommendations of lime and pre-existing fertilizer combinations that make purchasing and applying easier. Perhaps the most valuable information revealed through the soil test is soil pH. Soil acidity is the measure of pH. Soil pH is an index of the amount of acidity present. The pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. At pH 7, the soil is neutral. At pH levels below 7, the soil is acid or sour. And at pH levels above 7, it's alkaline or sweet. If soil pH correction is needed, agricultural limestone can be applied to raise the pH or make it less acidic. And finely ground elemental sulfur or aluminum sulfate can be applied to lower the pH, making it more acidic. For most urban landscapes, maintaining a soil pH between 5.5 and 6.0 is the best compromise. Reducing the pH beyond this range would not be necessary except for azaleas and rhododendrons. Since these woody plants are normally grown in beds, pH can be adjusted by applying sulfur around the plant's roots.